10 seconds to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angel, and welcome to Have Faith, Let It Begin. Today, we continue our series of the Throwback Thursday edition. That's right, it's Throwback Thursday edition, and this is going to happen for the month of October. We hope that each and every one of you will join us each and every Thursday, but of course every weekday at 7:30 a.m., because we're going to have different types of segments, and a lot of people, if you haven't joined us for that, when we were able to do the launching of the Throwback Thursday edition, we encourage all of you to go back and listen to it. It started last Thursday. It's called the 1993 Halloween Story. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, feel free, because that's what this Thursday's edition and for the rest of October will be all about. All right, with that being said, welcome to this Thursday's Throwback Story, and it's today, October 8th, 2020. Have Faith, Let It Begin starts right now, and this story is crazy. It's called, oh my goodness, the 1998 Greyhound Story. Have Faith, Let It Begin starts right now.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
On June 16th, 2018, a show designed for you, the Daily Commuter, went live. A weekly show all about faith. A show with motivational topics, inspirational stories, and personal testimony set out to change the world.
Don't you see that your faith is coming alive? Don't you see that it's tested every time? He's the one that makes your life divine. He's the one that makes you feel fine. Your faith's being tested.
Hi, I am Mia. You're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hello, my name is Amari, and today we are back on another episode of Have Faith and Let's Begin. Hi, my name is Isabella, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hey, this is Freddie, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hi, my name is Angela, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Welcome to Have Faith, Let It Begin. Here's your host, Angel Santana.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Have Faith, Let It Begin. On this Throwback Thursday edition of Have Faith, Let It Begin, we are welcoming you and new viewers to our show. We'd like to give a quick shout out to Ashley from Verizon, who took care of me yesterday. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, Ashley, if you're getting this message, I did not get the email and the return labels. Please resend that to me. I know you did your very best, but I did not get that email. Okay, folks, let's get started immediately with this story. You don't want to miss tomorrow's episode on Friday. It's going to be a crazy thing that just happened to me right now regarding my cell phone. Wait for tomorrow. That's a good story. But today, Throwback Thursday edition, the 1998 Greyhound Story. Here's how it goes. During spring break was coming around the corner. The girl that I had been dating was, actually it's 1999, by the way, not 1998. So 1999 Greyhound Story. I was getting ready to go on spring break from college, and the girl that I was dating had to move back home to North Carolina, and I decided to go visit her for my spring break. Unfortunately, I didn't have the funds to fly, so an option came up for me to take a bus. So I decided to go Greyhound, and so I got everything set up, got my tickets. And it was a total of 16 hours on a bus. Yeah. So this is not going to be a 16-hour story, but I got to tell you what happened from upstate New York to Grand Central Station, and from Grand Central Station to Baltimore. Here we go. So I got on the bus. I decided to travel at night. This way I could sleep on the bus, and then by the time the morning hit, I didn't lose a day. So here I am traveling on the bus. or on the first spot of the bus to get into the New York City area. We get into New York City, and I'm trying to locate my connector, connecting a bus. What I discovered was that there was 2 different lines, and they did not list the destinations. So I'm trying to look around and find anybody that can help me. I'm traveling with a book bag and not a suitcase, but like a duffel bag. Back then, you could bring almost anything on a bus, and I had a video camera. And I'm looking for somebody. Finally, I reached one of the conductors, and they told me what line to get into. As I get into line, I stand. I get behind a couple that is kind of already bickering, so to speak, and they're arguing about the connecting bus, and one guy's talking about her mother and how they want to make this trip as fast as possible. I didn't really pay too much mind to it, but they were very, very loud, or they started to get louder and louder by the second. At one point, there was another passenger that was about 2 people ahead of them, and you could see that he was frustrated with the way they just continued to argue. So at one point, the conductor came over and said, "Are we having a problem?" And they said, no problem. Says, "Can you please keep it down? We're trying to, get things ready, And they started to get things aligned and set up, and they started to argue again, the married couple. And at one point, the lady left the line, and when she left the line, the guy just put on his headphones. The other guy who was in front... Pardon me, I got a little tickle in my throat. A guy that was in front of the married couple decided to come off the line and say, "Listen, man, why don't you put your woman in check?" That was the exact words that he said. And the guy took offense to it and says, "Why don't you mind your own business?" Now, mind you, I'm cleaning this up very much because there was a lot of foul language. And it got to the point where the guy said, "Well, if she comes back and you guys start to argue, we're going to have a problem." And the guy says, "Just mind your own business, get in line." And the guy I remember looking down because I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've never seen 2 people, get into a fight, an argument. I'm not used to being in that environment. So all I remember was looking down at my brand new white sneakers. And when I put my head down to look down, the next thing I heard was a scuffle. I look up real quick, and these 2 guys are literally fist fighting, just throwing punches. And they go in like they're going in for like a headlock. And I looked down again at my sneakers, but this time when I went down, I noticed blood. Blood had splattered on my sneakers. And one of the guys went down to the ground. At that moment, we were already starting to move to go out of the terminal to the outside to pick up our bus. We got inside the bus, and I've literally got spots of blood on my sneakers. And I'm too scared to touch it. I don't want to clean it. I'm just like, I'm getting in the bus. So I jump in the bus. I get into a seat, and we're just getting ready to pull out, but they are counting the people, and the young lady gets on the bus and starts screaming because she says her husband is not getting up off the ground. So now there's chaos, and we don't move, and now the police are being called. And apparently, throughout the conversation or interrogation, they came inside and asked if anybody had noticed who threw the first punch. And then somebody had pointed out that I was the guy behind the married couple. I didn't know that at the time. Next thing you know, they asked me to come out. They asked me for to leave the bus because they wanted to speak to me. I was just scared out of my mind. I got off the bus, and what I found out was the guy that came off the line actually stabbed the gentleman that was with the married woman. It wasn't like a bad stabbing. I mean, stabbing is stabbing, don't get me wrong. But it was like he had scraped him. I don't know. I don't remember, to be very honest with you, where that happened on him. But it was very clear that he was going to the hospital. They asked me if I had any interaction with them, if I had any ties to them, to which, of course, I replied, no, I'm just going to North Carolina, man. I'm from upstate New York. And I'm stuttering. literally stuttering. And the guy says, okay, well, we're gonna keep track of you, and we may need to call you. And of course, we didn't have cell phones back then. I had a beeper, so I gave him my beeper number, and off we went. When I got to Baltimore, my beeper went off, and it was actually the police. I had to call them. Now it's like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. Actually, that's not true. I would say it's like 3 or 4 in the morning, because it took us, 4 hours to get into Baltimore, 4 or 5 hours. So, I had to call the police, and the police said to me, listen, here's what happened. The gentleman is in critical condition. We're going to need you to come back to New York to sign off what you saw. And I says, I don't have that kind of money. I've got a one-way ticket. I says, and my girlfriend's paying for my ticket back. And they said, well, we need to make sure that you sign something. So I says, well, I do when I get back. And they said, no, absolutely not. Stay there. We're going to have somebody pick you up. And just as I heard that, I panicked. I literally panicked, and I hung up the payphone. I'm serious. I hung up the payphone. I got back on the bus, and when I reached North Carolina, they had been beeping me all night, and I'm thinking I'm going to get arrested. And my girlfriend at the time made me write out what I saw, and we eventually had faxed it to them, and they accepted the fax. And that's my Greyhound story. I hope that doesn't make people think that going Greyhound is a bad thing, and I'm certainly not knocking Greyhound. It's just that was the bus I took. But yeah, that was my story. I haven't told that story in years. Do you have any crazy stories like that when you traveled? Did you see any altercations, any fights? Were you that close to an incident like I was? Oh, that was like traumatized. I think I was it was 1999. So I was like 21 years old. It was crazy. So yeah, that's my Throwback Thursday episode. A little crazy. We're going to have these crazy stories on Thursdays. We hope that each and every one of you will continue to join us every weekday. And a reminder to all of you that we'll be back on the air tomorrow at 7:30 with my cell phone story. Oh my goodness, my heart was pounding. You have no idea. You got to definitely hear what happened to me. It's just crazy. So with that being said, let's just remember one thing. It's good to reminisce on the past. It's okay to talk about stories from the past. Sometimes stories from the past teach you things. They teach you to know about your surroundings, your environments. Sometimes, many of us are put in a position to do things that is right. Sometimes we panic. Sometimes we jump to things maybe too quickly. Maybe sometimes we don't think before we speak. One thing is for sure. We're all living in a crazy world and crazy times. It is important to respect other people's properties, other people's surroundings, other people's conversations, and to concentrate on yourself. But of course, never to forget that a random act of kindness can actually make this world a better place. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, but sometimes it's okay to not get involved when you know it's something that is out of your control. I hope each and every one of you enjoyed today's episode. And never forget, have faith, let it begin. See you tomorrow.
Don't you see that your faith is coming alive? Don't you see that it's tested every time? He's the one that makes your life divine. He's the one that makes you feel fine. Your faith's being tested.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. That's right, Ariel. We're done with another show. And it's always great to have this show with you, my love. You know, we're going to encourage each and every person to listen to our show every single weekday. That's right, you and I are going to help change the world. Do you think that you can do that for me? Huh? Yeah, you know you can. She does. We want to let you know, and yes, we encourage you to listen to our show each and every weekday, and it's going to be live at 7:30. Make sure you're subscribed to our show. Make sure you get ready, fasten those seatbelts, because Ariel and I and my family are going to bring you a new topic, a new story each and every day, right? Isn't that right, Ariel? Yeah. And she's smiling at me. Guys, enjoy your day.